And we're live, and I'm going to send out some Discord promos.
Hello. Hold on, let me open a Ernest period.
Oh, wow.
I miss my BB, my baby. Guillermo del Toro took him. He took my baby. I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm playing Death Stranding.
Yes, of
Is
course.
anybody in the chat yet, or
No, we just started. We just started.
okay? Oh, who just?
Thanks,
Oh, hey,
Mask.
Mask.
That's not the right one. Okay. Let me organize some things real quick. Sent out something on Blue Sky. For once. And we're going to try to keep this chill.
Okay.
It's late night. We don't need to be like on.
Yeah. I think that's all that's fucking over here. Shit. There we go. Give me a PCC. There we go. Got all my bridges. Hmm.
Now let's see.
I fucked up.
We're going to start with Blythe.
Cargo will. Oh, cancel order. Yeah, that's fine. All right.
He's just been sort of sitting out in the ruins.
Oh yeah, we still haven't gotten far enough to trigger something.
We haven't gotten far enough to trigger the Radon Festival, no. Because the trigger
No.
there is going on to the Altus Plateau, and I just haven't decided to do that yet. $57, I believe.
What's up, Lochner?
56. Hey, Ditz. I also have Aaron's actual play on in my ear. So if I make an odd noise, it is because there's been a loud noise from that. Y'all won't hear it though. I muted desktop audio.
Were you listening to that during the movie?
No.
Okay, cool. I mean, it would have been fine if you were. I'm just curious. I'm sorry. That was a rude question. Oh God, bear.
Oh well.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I know you're. Well, I guess if you do, if you do jump attacks, be sure to do it in the head because it does a lot of stagger
Yes, I know.
on. And stagger is the name of the game for strength builds.
I was just trying to get to a position where I could summon Latenna to take a little bit of heat off me.
Mm. Like I was staggering Radigan in the end.
Well,
Like,
I didn't need to stagger Radigan. When he wasn't killing me immediately, I chewed through him with magic.
well, you're not playing with magic right now, so I thought,
Oh, a
you
sacrificial
know,
twig. And a lot of
give you the
baby
hint.
Mirandas.
Give you the hint.
There we go. Arteria leaf.
I'm in the ghost zone,
You're in Danny Phantom?
basically.
Yeah,
I
late
mean,
late
what?
late show Danny Phantom where the ghosts are weird.
The problem is that I don't have my BB, and that means the ghosts are just invisible to me, so I can't really
Oh,
stealth
have I
around
not
them.
killed Darrowwill yet? You might have been last time, or last time I ended Stream Mask, but I did some slight off-screen grinding to get a little bit more stamina. I'm so proud of myself for my patience in following that coffin there. It was not worth it.
Hmm.
And we ignore. La da da da. I guess I haven't killed Darrowwill yet.
Damn. Well, now you can do it easily. Now, I will say with Darrowwill, he moves really fast. You might want to focus just on melee.
Yeah.
Quicker to pump out spells. Hey, Mask.
Hey, Mask.
Give a bit of explanation. It's an economics exam tonight. It's technically due tomorrow at midnight. I get 3 attempts, and she takes the highest score. I took my first attempt and got like an 80, which is fine. And so once my roommate heads out, because he typically heads out to work out at the gym,
Mm-hmm.
I will do my second attempt, which may be during the stream, and then I leave. Or maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes he leaves at 7, which is 7:40 my time. And sometimes he leaves at 11:30.
Hmm. Now then, Okay, so in terms of events, we've cleared Castle Morn, we've cleared Stormvale, we've cleared Raya Lucaria, Cursed
Raging
Persona 4,
Lucario.
and that's really it.
I see you thoroughly explored Caleb.
Oh yes, but
You
until
have
I
more
go up here,
there than
outside
I do.
of the Divine Bridge, the Radon Festival won't be on.
Is that something you're avoiding?
That is something I'm avoiding just so I can do Blythe's questline in order.
Mm,
Quest lines
Everybody
being
loves.
esoteric, I just want to. I am compulsive when it comes to this. There is no speed running Elden Ring for me.
yep. That's not really what I was attempting to do.
Oh, I just
It's
mean
just
for me
the
in
game is
general.
really
There's no real reason for me to do this quest
kind of
line.
a polite way to communicate what I'm trying to communicate,
Yeah.
and there's not one. It's just the quest. The
The
quest
quest
should
lines
not
are
be breakable,
esoteric.
and it's not. There's no defendable design reason as to why I broke the quest because I explored too hard.
Yeah, Souls games all quests have always been kind of BS.
Like, it's not a big
I
deal to me because I didn't meet the guy, and also I doubt I missed out on any equipment that matters for my build since he looks like a strength dude. But I was a
and this
little
one event
annoyed.
in his quest line can be done regardless of thing.
Like that, it was just frustrating that I went to just pop around Caelid, which I thought was like a late area, and then the Radon Festival is happening, and everyone's like, "Hey, girl, hey, bestie, we've done so much together. How are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know who any of you are. I don't know where I am." Just every time I play Elden Ring, I feel like I just woke up from a 3-day hangover. Or I'm lost. I'm staggering around. I don't know what's happening, and I can't feel my legs. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's
very
just a
soft
polite
spoken.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a polite man. I don't hear the game. I think it's just the game's quiet.
Let me test.
I can hear it. All right.
Because I have the capture card typically down a fair bit for the sounds of fighting. Do you hear the lightning bolts?
Yes.
I don't. You're probably hearing it through Discord mulch.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
know that works. We're
That
talking about the
doesn't.
stream.
I don't. Is Discord coming through
yeah. Discord's coming through.
on Twitch?
Oh, let me check.
Yeah. Yes, I've been hearing mulch doubling while I was testing for audio.
Oh, I had it on mute output for. There we go. I had it on mute output for when we had to do the desktop audio for Discord. Okay.
Yeah. What's funny is I was obviously at the beginning of the stream, I was just watching it like a normal viewer, and I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
clock that the game wasn't playing audio because I've never played Elden Ring with audio on. So that was just a normal Elden Ring experience for me.
All right. So that is the start of Blythe's quest. That's the first thing just on the plan for progression here.
Because why would I unmute the game? Well, I would be listening to lo-fi beats for the post-apocalypse with the accompaniment of various British people, quote-unquote people. I don't have the energy for that.
Alright. Jump.
I don't allow negativity like that into my life.
Ah,
That's
hello.
self-care.
How nice of you to stop by again, please.
I wish the shopkeepers
Buy
had stuff of
something
value to
once
offer
in a
me.
while.
I keep showing up to them and be like, hey, how you doing? And never anything. They have a recipe book. They typically have recipe books for me to buy. That's like their shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Which is all well and good, I suppose. It's just like, I don't believe in consumable items. I learned my lesson in Breath of the Wild. I don't do that.
At least in this case, crafting consumable items is just useful.
Like, okay, I'll probably, if I remember now, I'll start using more of the greases. I think that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
Yeah.
it's just with my build where I have no endurance and I can die to literally anything at any time. It's not really worth my
Right.
while. Outside of a boss fight, but it's sort of like, how will I know if it's the run? Right.
Into one of the
Like
most
with,
beautiful and yet one of the most annoying areas.
Like with, Godric's, little blessing that he puts on you that boosts all your stats by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's cunty and all, but isn't that expendable and you have to recharge it?
Yep.
Or you have to, like, use an item or, like, something?
You have to
Just
use an
like-
item that's limited in the form of a rune arc, where the only reliable way to grind it out is one particular cave that has 7 rats, and the drop rate is at base. I think it's like less than 1%.
Yeah, for me, it is just as simple as, like, I mean, I guess if I'm fighting a boss and, like, I lose when I was just about to beat them, you know, or, like, I keep, like, running short just by, like, 1/10 of their health bar is left, then maybe, in that case, it would make sense to use Godric's Great Rune.
Oh, that reminds me.
That would be, like, a relatively okay use of my time. Or not my
Off-
time, of my item.
Off stream, I did a couple more invasions. So now we get to skip a massive chunk of content.
Yeah.
Which isn't really much of a skip because this doesn't progress anything, but... We are underground,
I can tell.
and we are in the
Moglord of Blood area.
Yeah. Mogwin Palace. Anyway, we go back to Shifra River Depths.
Like, I know about Miss Girl because on Fextra Life I've been, you know, researching statuses, and every time this bleed is like, oh, but Mr. Moggle he takes, like, he has some stupid effect when it comes to bleed. Like, he takes way less.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
And so they keep doing that clarifier, and it's like, okay, I get it. Just put that on his page. I don't need to know about how he bleeds. That's none of my business.
I say this about Fextra Life, it is
The worst, yeah.
it is a hell area. Dukist Herba.
See, one of the many things I hate
There's
about
something
Kingdom
over here?
Hearts is that, like, their fandom is really, really good about documenting the, like, 5 games they get every 30 years. Like, they get one Kingdom Hearts game every century, and they will data mine that shit and put it into like
To
a perfectly sorted Google sheet.
to be fair, we
Like-
didn't actually like have such long gaps between releases until Dream Drop Distance to KH3.
Yeah. And then like the Wayfinder project is of course the main thing, where it's every cutscene ever
Sortable by world,
sortable
characters,
by world, character, transcript, specific quote, I think
music.
setting. Yeah. Pisses me off. But anyway, it's literally everything. It's crazy. And the thing is, that has like ruined my standard system.
I mean, it was
Like
almost
it in Fire Emblem. Like obviously Fire Emblem is very well documented, other than Three Hopes, because it's a strategy game. So it's very important that you know this sort of data. Elden Ring and Vexor Life, it isn't actually that bad. It's just that like I'm so used to so much better. And it's like, this is a game where you do need to know information. Like, as much of it is an action game, it feels like 50% of the time you're just looking at fucking numbers and being like, do I have enough stat to equip this thing? What's my build? My build? Like, whatever.
well, it is because this is an RPG.
So, you know, you're having to do all that. So, like, there is a need to have documentation. And it's there, it's just not done very well.
Yeah,
And of course, I'm gonna find the CEO of Vexor Life and destroy him with the whole, like, every page I go to defaults to Shadow of the Erd Tree. And it's like, you're not a Shadow of the Erd Tree wiki.
oh, it
You're
also
an Elden Ring wiki.
it doesn't help that sometimes the Vextra Life wiki just makes shit up. They just make shit up.
It's like, I support lying as much as the next person, but like, come on.
Oh, but it also used to be worse.
Oh, I'm sure.
The Bloodborne wiki for Vextra Life, there used to be this guy named Rakuyo.
Oh, yeah. No, keep going. I don't know about this.
So, we know a lot about fandom, infamous fan theories here. Do we know about the Silent Hill circumcision guide?
I know about him.
Yeah.
Rakuyo was the Vextra Life wiki for Bloodborne's Silent Hill circumcision guy.
Oh, God.
He would put completely unrelated things in his extensively long lore theories and link any page that might have even a modicum of something to do with that lore theory to his thing. To the point of he started linking things on other Soulsborne wikis because of the fandom's preoccupation with the unified timeline thing. The most egregious of it is anytime there was a red dress in any Dark Souls, Demon Souls, or related game, he would link to his page on the Bloodborne Vextra Life wiki. No, no bubbles. We are not a bubble household here.
Yeah. That is very real, though, to me. I like, I'm sure that's horrible, but also fair enough.
It is horrible.
Elden Ring would probably be theory hell for me, a la Kingdom Hearts, if I knew even the most basic semblance of what was happening. But I don't. so I am safe. All I know is that Renala isn't a feminist, and I hate her. And that's about it. I do also know that Scarlet Rot seems to just like be like the Black Plague but sexy, and is like infesting a few areas. Like there was a little snippet on the Antspur rapier that's like this noble house like lost to the Scarlet Rot, and everyone like was like, oh darn, not the nobility. What are we gonna do without our oppressors? Damn. That's all I got there. And Radon has but like whatever. He pretends like it's the worst thing that ever happened to anyone. Whatever.
I mean, it did
I
kind
know
of
Melania
destroy him.
does. Like I don't know. I'm not fucking with Melania because I love my life. I love
That's
my
okay.
time
You'll get to watch me fuck with
much.
Millennia for a while.
I love my time too much, and I love who I am and the time that I spend not fighting Melania.
Oh, neat. That's actually a grab. Fun.
I
am
appreciate her vibe though. As a fashionista, as a fashion girly, I support the willingness to be moldy. And as a Dex build, as a redheaded Dex build person myself, I can also respect that. What I can't, however, respect is anything else about her.
Oh, I love Frenzied Burst. That went through 3 enemies.
I remember I was exploring Stormvale, and I was in my theory bag just a little bit because this is before I gave up, and I was like, ooh, what's going on with like Godred? And then I saw the cafeteria, and I was like, oh, it's just some variant of cannibalism. There's something to do with that. And then that's it. That's all I care about at that point. Where it's like, I'm sure there's something interesting there, but like, cannibalism's cannibalism. There's not much.
He's cutting off
that
people's
can be
limbs
done
to
about
stick
that.
them on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I met him, and I was like, oh, gross. And also, it didn't seem to help you.
Oh, it
Like,
didn't.
if you're gonna be, like, the thing is, I can support horrible, horrible,
Abominations.
abominable acts. I can support murdering the peasantry if it helps you, right? If it helps you live your life, if it helps you girl boss a little bit closer to the sun. Godric, however, is one of the curb stomp fights to have ever happened, and I was just like really embarrassed for him. I beat him, and I was like, "Oh baby, no, this was not it." Renala was fun though. Like, I think we get a little bit too caught up in the baby thing. I'm like, shout out to babies. I don't know what to do with that. My thing is just like the weird distance that she puts between herself and the whole we're turning into rocks thing happening in the same building as her. You know, that's the thing that got my gears turning. Because at least with Stormvale Castle, it's like, ooh, I'm eating the poor people because I'm a bigot and British. And, you know, and then, so that's the boss, and then the area is all the people being eaten. So that's valid. That links together. With Raya Lucaria, it was this interesting sort of thing going on where Renala's like, my husband left me and I keep birthing and I don't know what to do with that. And then the building is, we keep turning into Hatsune Miku because of the Miku magic that we keep doing. And those don't link together.
Oh, it's very fascinating.
And I'm like, so is she also turning into rocks?
No. You can find out more about that entire thing by going to the Waypoint Ruins and talking to the woman in the cellar there. and doing her
You know-
particular quest line.
I have not explored Limgrave. Now that you you showed me the map, I'm like, I did just go to Stormvale Castle to start with. I don't know anything about that
Oh,
area.
shit. Oracle bubble.
I followed where the story led me,
Ow.
which is like, it's the only area I haven't explored because I've at least like poked around literally every main area except
bubbles.
obviously like the ones I don't have access to because I haven't beat Morgott. That's interesting.
My mother's ember.
Yeah. The only thing I know about Elden Ring is that my friend's boyfriend told me that whatever I know about Lord of the Rings, I can just use that. And so I have been. And just combining everything together, I know there was like a big war about the Elden Ring. It was shattered. Everyone has a little snippet of it. They're not like doing anything with it though, from the look of it. Like Godric wasn't like using the Great Rune for anything. And I'm like, could you like oh my gosh, can you clock into fucking work at this point? I'm so sick of you. Can you do something? Anyway,
I
Renala, I'm
appreciate
assuming
Godric
she's using
for
her
being a
magic
loser.
to like. I'm assuming Renala's using her magic to like perform plastic surgery. Like I'm assuming
Yes.
that she got the BBL part of the Elden Ring, and that's what she's doing. And you
Yes,
know what? She's promoting toxic beauty standards, but like I believe in her. I guess.
But, like, yeah, pretty much. So, there are a few characters who get a lot of extra stuff in the DLC, in the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Godric is the fun one who gets nerfed by the DLC. But
Like,
Renala...
I'm never letting Godric go. I'm never letting him go. That the game was like, ooh, ookie spooky first boss, and I get in there and he just like says kya and falls over and like dies immediately
Yeah.
because he stubbed his toe. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Way to
So-
really sell me on the game.
So,
Whatever.
prior to the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, what it was thought in the fandom was Godric could do his thing of sticking people's limbs on himself to try to grow his power by essentially through using his Great Rune.
Really? I mean, we can do that though. Like we, the player, do something similar with the
Yes.
dragon church moment.
The
which you can
dragon
do that
communion,
before
yes.
You get a great room. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a stupid theory. Anyway, continue.
It is ultimately all we had to go on was the description of the Great Rune, which is... this Great Rune is known as the Anchor Ring found in the center of the Elden Ring. That's all we had to go on. So everybody decided, oh, that's how he can do grafting, because we don't really see anybody else doing it. There's Godric, the grafted scion in the feast hall, and the grafted scion at the very beginning of the game.
And us. Well, optionally, but like.
Optionally, functionally,
And us.
we'll get into that later. It's Dragon Communion is ultimately separate from grafting. Shadow of the Erdtree comes out, and because Godric is related to Marika, Marika is of a particular race known as the Newman. The Newman have the ability to meld people together. And it is, it is that which ends up making Godric less. Other people got more because we got a bunch of things related to Moog and Mikola and so many more things about all of them. But Godric got conclusively made even weaker by the DLC.
Yeah.
The reason that people ended up... The
Go
other
on.
reason I think people ended up thinking, oh, Godric's doing it through his Great Rune is Renala is explicitly using the Great Rune she was given by Radigan in the Amber Egg, the Great Rune of the Unborn, to do all the rebirth with her little babies.
Yeah.
That is also how she does our restructuring. The reason we're capable of not turning into one of the adolescent scholars is when she does her rebirthing magic, we're using the Great Rune.
Yeah.
Or we're there's something there.
I'm back. I don't know if I said I was.
Welcome
You
back.
did
You
not.
had not.
You also didn't say you were leaving, so we just assumed you were here.
So yeah.
But
The
back to
rest
me.
Yes, back
Go
to
ahead.
you. The
back
rest of
to-
the bosses with Shardbearers are also implied more heavily or shown more heavily to be actively using their Great Rune. Godric is just a loser.
It's like it's also so just all the shard bearers feel unique and feel like they have a vibe going on. Like out of the 4 that I know, Rykard, like I don't know too much about Rykard because I just like looked at him and I said hi and then I'd like quit the game because like I just wanted to see him but I wasn't fighting him that day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy, I don't know what he's using it for, but he feels like he used it to get his long fucking neck. Radon, I mean, Radon's in the fun situation that he is Goku from Dragon Ball, and like presumably his battle power was just always there. But if it wasn't, his fat ass is on that horse somehow. So maybe he just fed the horse the Great Rune to get like a spine of adamantine. I don't know. Um,
You actually
and
can get the
then
lore on that eventually.
it's like I'm assuming it's like some level of passion for his horse, but like maybe don't sit on the horse. I think the most compassionate thing is to just get off the horse. Maybe
Let your horse rest.
give him a break.
I
Like I don't.
honestly,
Maybe he's not able. Maybe he's not able to walk without the horse. But like, just sit for a while, girl. It's not that serious. You're not going anywhere. Everyone's dead. What do you have to do, right?
I
Where are
quite
you
like
reporting for work?
I quite like the explanation with the horse. It's a very heartwarming one. Okay,
And
now
then
I'm level
Morgott, I
57.
mean, I think Morgott's the one that just like he's the most immediately understandable. Especially because he has just straight up magic with the holy weapon manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Like he uses magic in a way that Rykard may, because again I haven't fought him, but the rest of them don't. Godric doesn't. Radon, like I think the vibe is his arrows are, like just based off the particle effect on the arrow, but like that's whatever.
He's got gravity magic.
Oop. Oh yeah, I died earlier, didn't I?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
holding back the stars.
Yeah, Radon, what's going on with his arrows is Radon is a sorcerer who uses primarily gravity magic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's whatever. What else have I just discovered? Again, my attention is scattered, A, because I'm all throughout every area in Elden Ring, and B, because I'm not fighting every little enemy on the off chance that they drop an item that has an off chance of maybe having information on it, maybe.
Most enemies don't actually give much information. They give information on
Yeah.
their particular enemy variety, and it amounts to the joke a few weeks back was why the Knights of Thursday's shit.
Yeah, it's like I may eventually care about the characters within Elden Ring, but like environmentally, I don't give a shit what's happening here. I think we've covered that before. You give me a shithole world that's already died a few years back, I'm not exactly passionate about learning who lives here. Like on the general, here's what's going on with the Albinarics. I'm like, good for them. When winter comes, they're dead. I think. I think snow comes in. I think the crops freeze over, and I think they die. I hope they do. I hope everyone dies when the winter. Like my dream, I think, for this setting is there is no soul left after the winter starvation.
The sad
Because
thing
I
is, with this setting, death is not a possibility.
Oh, how fun!
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't exactly feel overwhelming compassion or care for any of these people because I don't know if any of them are people. So whatever.
Alright, I got Armorer's Cookbook.
There are a few things. The round table has been relatively interesting to me. Rajir's my girl. Love him.
Oh, we got a perfume bottle.
I know nothing below that bandage can be touched, but what that mouth do.
Oh, we got
The
preserving
shrooms have not reached up
poultices.
that far, and he gave me my favorite weapon. Even currently, still my favorite weapon. I use the Ansper Rapier because it's better, but in
Oh,
terms of
hammer.
like the vibe of it all, I like Rajir's Rapier a lot.
Roger's Rapier, I think, is a good solid early game weapon. Like, analysis-wise, Roger's Rapier is overall
Fine.
bad, but...
Well, it's a thrusting sword that's early.
yeah.
All you need to do is beat Godric, which, like, whatever. It feels like the summon can do that,
Nepheli?
Oh no, I mean,
you know? Yeah, it feels
Depending.
like that she can do it more or less by herself.
Depending. I've not had... Like, even on stream, I've not had very good luck with her.
Huh. It just felt like she had a lot of those red potions. At least for me. I think I remember her healing like twice, at least. And I was like, girl, I didn't
think
know
she's-
this feels illegal.
I think she's one of the allies that has 3.
And that actually feels closer to reality. There's a hair all the way in the back of my throat, and it's
Which,
about to drive me up the
in
wall.
terms of NPCs healing, like, that is a lot. Like,
Yeah.
typically if you're like, allies typically have maybe 1, 2 people invading you or people you invade. NPCs anyway. Typically have 1 or 2, and like Nepheli, like, for whatever reason, I feel like 3's right. 3 sounds right. It feels right to my
Yeah.
experience, but like, it was always like her basically tipping it back and tipping it back and tipping it back and then dying.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the thing with Godric is that, like, particularly with Godric, is that all she needs to do is keep the aggro for,
Yeah.
like, 30 seconds. Because with Godric, all you need to do is get through the first half health. After that, he gets the Dragon Fist, and you win basically automatically, because I don't know how you get hit by any of those attacks. Unless you run right into them repeatedly. Particularly the dragon, like the little fire hose looking thing, where he's just exposed for 20 seconds.
It ultimately depends, because, like, I struggle with the fire a fair bit. Okay, wait, do I have to... Oh, this... I hate this.
I mean, I could have just gotten lucky, to be fair, but I just rolled through it. at a certain point.
The main thing is that like the fire has a really awkward hitbox because it's a bunch of like orbs bouncing around. So sometimes you dodge into the orb because it bounced a weird way that doesn't match up with the animation.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh thank god, it's not one of the snipers.
World War II.
Yeah. Rajir and D.
D,
They're
Hunter
real.
of the Dead.
I don't know what either of their deals are, but like them.
We'll get into their deals, actually. I can...
Honestly, I'm just living for the withered old ladies. I'm obsessed with them.
Lamau.
They're like very high up on my list. I don't know if their siblings are dating, but I don't really care. I like that they sit there and they're all husky and they're just like, "Ooh, do you want to buy Smithstones?" And I say, "Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much." You know?
I hate
I'm
these
just glad
little
that they're
things.
so helpful.
I would love to
It
ride
feels like
through
they
the water.
understand me in a way that none of the other characters in this game do.
Does it help that they have absolutely no dialogue?
Oh, absolutely. I don't need to hear you talk. I need you to give me rocks. I need you to give me smithing stones. Also, they sold me, I believe, like, they sell the basic version of basically every weapon. And so I was able to get, like, the very basics of my set from them. And that's real. They support being verse. And that's rare. You know?
They sell a good chunk of things, yeah, at base.
Where's like the appreciation for the Twin Maiden husks? Because I think they're really like the hidden like gems of this game. They help you, they ask for very little in return, they just want some money, they're always there. They don't attack you like certain other skull-faced bitches in the Round Table hold.
And
They're there from the beginning, you know. Even my own mother doesn't show up for me like this. Like, you don't understand.
No. Oh my god. No!
That's what the death scream sounds like. I'm obsessed.
At least for the young man, yeah.
It's about to say that sounded kind of like Minish Cap Link.
Death number 122, level geometry.
Give it up for 122. Yeah, Twin Maiden husks. Love them. Just, I want to know what their lives are like, you know? Do they like have tea and Kiki when I'm not there and then they freeze up when they hear the door open? They're like, shit, we gotta be dead. Hold on, girl. Like, we gotta pose and we gotta be still. I don't know. And it's like, do they sell to everyone or am I just special?
They sell to everyone.
Because like I'm allegedly a Tarnish, but like I know I have like pretty privilege. Because all these other Tarnish are ugly as shit. Except the player character, which could be ugly as shit, or worse, but, you know, for me personally, I'm very attractive. So,
I don't know, I think Dialos is
your
fairly
character
attractive.
also seems to be. I don't know what you were going
What's that
for,
noise?
but, you know, I'd probably fuck that.
Oh, that was Aaron.
Yeah. You're hearing voices.
I am hearing voices. Alright, let's
I can't
not...
believe... I'm so
launch
surprised
ourselves
that
off.
actually, like, the spot was actually there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it feels like whenever it's a really small ledge that it'll just backtrack a little bit and to, like, the last place you were before you died.
The mechanics on the Bloodstain are it follows you 10 seconds behind. So if you stand in one place for 10 seconds, your bloodstain will catch up with you. And I was standing there long enough trying to inch off of the side that it caught up. Ignore the Dimitris.
I can't get this hair out of my mouth.
Get hit by
And it's so distressing to me.
me.
Now, Hugh has it out for me, by the way. Speaking of untrustworthy bitches, literally every time I talk to him, he says, I took you for dead. And I'm like, can you just tell me if you hate me? Why are you always thinking about my death?
He's a
All the
tsundere.
fucking time.
Come
It's
on.
every day.
He
He's
is
like,
a tsundere.
I took you for dead. And I'm like, come on. Maybe I'll go to this other blacksmith in fucking Liurnia and have him smith my shit, because this is crazy. Like, I appreciate his whole thing with the blonde lady. I think that's
Roderica.
Father,
I do like-
daughter,
I
daddy,
do
little
like his
girl.
thing
I don't
with
know what
the-
they're
with
doing, but like
Roderica.
I'm fine with it. Whatever.
Right.
Who else is
Light the flame, light the flame, light the flame!
I think that's.
Ah,
the
we love
whorehouse.
iframes.
Oh, there's the whore on the bed.
Oh yeah, Fia, the
I
deathbed
I
companion.
support sluts. I support worthless sluts that offer nothing to the world around them. I think I love that. She offers a boon that doesn't matter, and she's not that pretty anyway.
And it also takes 1 point of vigor off of you.
Yeah, which like I have barely any to begin with. I really don't. I can't lose much more, please. I do not have enough in vigor to be handing it out. Just like she's handing it out. Just hand over fist. Who else?
Yeah, no. I won't die to level geometry again.
Godric flopped. Renala's whatever.
I hate these guys.
I find it very funny that the big villain of this game seems to be Bill Clinton. And like we're just dealing with like a cheating scandal on a basic level, and somehow it's become like a whole like impeachment moment. I don't know who is Miss Lewinsky in this scenario, but like Renala seems very pretty, but her personality is foul, and Marika's a Catholic, so I don't think
The
her
best
looks
way I
matter.
can put
I think
it
she's
is-
going to hell regardless.
The best way I can put it is, it's a cheating scandal if Bill Clinton was also at the same time Monica Lewinsky.
I mean, what if he was?
I don't know. That I don't think would
This
be.
would just
Oh
be
shit!
the TV
Snipers.
show. This is just the TV show scandal. Which, by the way, as a white person,
How
I
many
would
more
love
of
to
these do I have
share
to light?
the fact that the TV show Scandal, starring Miss
2.
Olivia Pope, well, that's the name of the character. Amazing television. Amazing television. That and Grey's Anatomy are the shit. That is my people. I don't care what y'all say about Grey's Anatomy, okay?
I have no opinion on Grey's Anatomy. I've never seen it.
I'm obsessed with it. I haven't even seen half of it. Because there's so much, and it's still going. But it's like, it's reliable. I can tune in and someone's gonna die in that hospital. Doesn't matter what episode. I just know that Miss Meredith Grey is gonna be there and someone's gonna die horrifically. And what else do you need? Right?
Light the flame. Flee.
It's like that there just aren't. I'm trying to like, ooh, this character, but there aren't that many characters.
There's the last one.
Volcano Manor. It was fine. I liked the old maid that's like a spy master.
Oh, Rhea?
Yeah, like I liked her vibe. Just my criticism is like, what do you need to spy on? Like, it feels like spying is like a living people job. And again, the war has been over. We're kind of it's like the whole thing with Volcano Manor is that like I love the energy. It is too late though. Like you should have done this earlier. You can't rebel against the Erd Tree now. We're done. It's a wrap. But I do like her energy. I like the fact that she has scoliosis, and I love that she just stands by the fireplace and warms her old little hands. The Armor Knight next to her. The Armor Knight's also kind of fun.
Oh yeah, the Crucible Knights, I think they're... Like, I love their designs. Alright, let's show off a boss. After lighting all of the fires. Oof.
Here.
Can I hit it from here with this? I have to kill my cousin.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, it needs to be hunted.
Okay.
Watch your friend.
It is less weak to lightning damage. See, this is me when I haven't had my, my tea.
Don't speak to me before my morning coffee. Is that what you just said?
Pretty much. Ow. Cousin. You have to die. I need your soul.
Why?
Because the axe will be nice and appropriate for us.
No,
I
no,
did
we
get
don't
halfway.
get the. We didn't get the axe from this guy. You get the spirit
You-
ashes.
You have to kill him to get the other one.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely crazy reference incoming. This reminds me of the Santa boss from Sword Art Online.
A little bit.
I think it's just a reindeer prancing across the sky that gives me that vibe. Like, I think it's a moose, but you know what I mean.
No, this is a deer.
Shout out to Moose, by the way. Like, truly, the most cursed creature
Lieutenant.
in my mind. I would never trust a moose. I would never be caught dead near a moose, or alive near a moose, or anywhere in the realm approaching moose. Okay? Because I value
They are-
my life.
They are pretty
It's freaky as hell. I was in the science museum learning because that's what I do, and I was there and I was like, ooh, science, and it was the general skeletal display, like for just like normal animals, not dinosaurs, and they had a moose. It scared the life out of me when I like looked at it, and I was like, this isn't in the dinosaur section.
We got one of the
There are, like,
strongest generic
so many
ashes.
dinosaurs. There are like so many dinosaurs I'd
How to get
rather
out of
come
there.
across than a fucking moose. I'm being so serious.
Right. Alright, here's how we get... I would love to come across a velociraptor because they're just adorable little chickens
Yeah,
with bright and
Uh,
colorful feathers.
the Jurassic Park velociraptors are based off Deinonychus. Those are the big ones that you should be scared of.
It freaks me the fuck out. There's no other word for it.
Give me a second, I want to
You
get the... I want to get my favorite depiction of velociraptors. This one
Anyway,
artist draws them like fancy show pigeons.
That's fun.
Volcano Manor,
And Sen.
Diallos. I love that I'm obsessed with Diallo showing up and being like, I'm gonna help in the revolution, and then like 5 minutes pass, and he's like, actually, I have better things to do with my time. And I'm like, fair. I don't have anything against that, but especially because the revolution doesn't actually seem to be doing anything.
That's
Like the
adorable.
revolution against the Erdtree is, hey, can you go kill 2 generic zombies? And like in another dimension, just can you go kill 2 generic zombies in another dimension, please? Thank you. I don't know if the invasions are actually meant to be.
It's not entirely clear how the multiplayer works in Elden Ring compared to previous iterations in the series. In Dark Souls, it is one of those alternate timeline sort of things. Where everybody, like every individual undead, is in their own timeline where they are the one chosen to do the thing, and then interacting with them is where your timelines collide for one reason or another. In Elden Ring, it's not clear where things are and why people are why you have to do invasions as opposed to anything normal.
Yeah, it's like tying in the multiplayer into like into a required, not required, because I don't know if you have to do Rykard,
It's
but like
completely optional.
that story event makes me wonder. I'm like, I'm perfectly fine accepting, like, if I'm allegedly tarnished, that there are just other tarnished that also are very skilled. I don't know what that super does to the setting, if, like, anyone can just go around killing these fucking guys. But it's whatever,
It's weird.
ultimately.
It's weird.
But back to the point. I the Volcano Manor quest line, I like it in the sense that it is a very unique vibe, so that's why I enjoy it. But there is definitely, at least to me, there's this whole thing of like Miss Knockoff Edelgard, whose name I forget, is like,
Tanith.
would you like to join the rebellion against the Urge? I remember that because she's the other lesbian from Fire. Yeah, Tanith. She's like, hey, do you want to join the rebellion against the Erdtree and the against the nonsense of the fingers? And I remember she said that. I'm like, fingers? What? What are you talking about?
The two
But whatever.
fingers. You can see them in the
in the
room
round
with.
table, I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw them. They're like, hey, do you want to like
Ow.
turn Godric's like little memory into a weapon? And I'm like, do you see my muscles? I can't lift that. Give me my money, bitch. Yeah. Also, I need to sell Renala now that I'm not doing it. Maybe I'll remember to do that. Anyway.
Ow.
Yeah, they were like, do you want to rebel
Ow.
against the fingers? And I was like, the fingers haven't really done anything to me personally, but like, sure. Why not? I like, okay, killed two of a literal countless number of zombie people. Because Tarnish seem to be like the grunts, and it sounds like they're everywhere.
They are.
I mean, I think. So it's like, why do we care about these two guys? What did they do?
Based off
Especially
of
because the first one's is like a very generic knight.
Based off of the reason you go after Juno Hoslow, they decided not to join the Volcano Manor.
Yeah.
Gather up all the gravel stone.
So it was a little bit disappointing in the sense of like, I don't know how I'm helping anyone here, but my consolation, at least internally, is like Volcano Manor feels a lot less like they're actually rebelling against the Erdtree, and more like Tanith and the company are just like busying themselves and like deluding themselves into thinking they're doing something, when really the fight has been lost for an unknown amount of time. But they just want to feel like they're doing something, and so they just go and kill whoever they feel like. claim that it's helping someone in some vague way. Is that based on literally anything? Hell nah. But it's what I got.
I mean, that is kind of the vibe sometimes.
But I did, like, despite how harsh I'm coming off as, I did genuinely enjoy it. Like, the loading screens were hell, and requiring me to do multiplayer is a dumb design decision, and they should be shamed for it. But fighting, quote-unquote humans, that was very interesting.
Oh,
it
come
was an interesting
on!
challenge.
He sank into the ground, so I couldn't do the critical hit.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
at least trick him into...
fighting quote-unquote humans, I really liked. Specifically, the one with the crossbow was a cool challenge for me. Because based on my build, there was 2 paths for her. I could block all the crossbows with my shield, but that would drain my entire stamina gauge. Exactly. Or I could try to time 2 dodge rolls and risk it that way. So it took me a few tries, but it was fun.
Alright, you better not sink into the ground. Great. And you're dead. Flame of Frenzy,
Yeah.
because we're getting something we desperately need if we're going to end up using 2 Colossal Greatswords.
What else? I think that's honestly everyone I've met. I guess I'll talk about Morgott. I'm just gonna call him Morgott. None of
know.
us are stupid, right? We all know what's going on.
All right, what are you? I hate you.
Yeah. Well,
I
are
think
you?
his vibe is interesting.
I hate you.
Where like
life.
I think what Morgott is going for is like King Garen rebellions are like seeds, you must salt the earth before they sprout. Like, and since it's King Garen, I can put up with it. I like the idea of like this later game boss appearing in an early area and then trying to like dissuade Tarnish from their quest. I do wonder why he didn't like try. You know, you innately run into the issue of like, if you're trying to clean up Tarnish before they do anything, how about you like kill them? Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe his knee was hurting him that day. I'm not too worried
I hated
about it.
all of that. Okay, we'll
Frostbite
come back
sword,
to that later.
that's cool.
Yep, that is the Moonlight Greatsword. It is a strengthened weapon. It is
that's
a
weird.
potential reward for doing Rani's questline. She is the witch
Yeah.
who gave you the bell to summon the Spirit Ashes.
Let me look her up.
She's the one with 4 arms and the half face overlaid on her face.
Nope.
Blue.
No. Oh, I found her. Still not ringing any bells. I'll just trust you. Oh, Morgott. That's where I was. He seems to have, like, he seems to be the de facto personality of the game. In the sense of, like, he's the first guy you fight, was a roadblock for some people. Was apparently iconic for being a roadblock, which is crazy. Uses a cane. Uses a cane, which was fun. He does introduce you to like the specific vibe of how a boss fight is gonna go because of the NPC summon. Because I don't think I mean, you may very well have had an NPC summon fight before this, but like, odds are that's where you're getting it. I will say.
Okay, what about you?
Are you going to
You've
try to
got the...
trick the NPC into getting shot by the giant?
Yes.
Okay.
You have...
I was like, I know what you are.
Alright, let's try this guy. Sword of Night and Flame and Lusat's staff. They don't know how to use that effectively.
Yeah. Like, it seems to be like it's weird because I'm assuming Radigan and America are like, you know, the people. But I think if I were to pick like a mascot, you know, like someone to put on a mug or someone to put on a t-shirt, it'll probably have to be Morgott.
Oh, also to add to Morgott, he was the boss of the network test, the functionally closed beta test they had for the game.
That makes sense. And also this is just innately due to the fact that, like, in a difficult game, how many people made it to Radigan? You know? That's something you have to judge in terms of memorability of a character. Radigan may be the baddest bitch to ever walk the planet, for all I know. But there's every chance in the world that I just give up.
Radigan
Like, I'm just
is...
like, you know what? I'm spending too much time on this. I'm not really having fun anymore. So, like, whatever. I'm done. Morgott has the benefit of being a early and
late
mid.
game boss.
Is it late? Okay, I don't know where.
I
put him.
actually he's the
Early
start
late.
like
Early late game.
Margit the Fell Omen is the early game boss, and then Morgott
Yes.
the Omen King is the end of mid game.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Because out of the 3 great runes you unlock, he seems to be the only one keeping anything behind the door. Like, Rykard's over in Volcano Manor. Maybe there's something after you beat him, but like I don't see a landmass beyond
There's
him.
not.
And same with like they're both just in corners. Radahn's also just on the fucking beach, you know. Morgott is guarding the Land of Giants, which means he's also guarding me from the Hazo Pedal Whip, that fucking cuck. I can't stand him. Anyway, but yeah, if you're to pick a mascot or pick like a de facto guy, it would have to be Morgott, I think, just because everyone who plays Elden Ring is gonna see him, more or less, unless they pick up the game and immediately put it down, which like is the best choice. And then, you know, he's gonna have this big sort of barrier. Because you have to beat him to get to the end game. You don't have to beat well, I mean, I don't know if you have to beat, but
You do not have to
if
beat
you-
Rykard.
No,
All
I'm saying,
you have-
I think you have to beat Morgott if he's
Yeah.
guarding the Land of Giants. Yeah.
You have to be... So... You only have to... The only boss of the Shard Bearers that is required specifically is Morgott. You otherwise have to get 2 great runes. Doesn't matter which
can
great
be
runes you get.
Renala and probably Godric, like
Yeah.
I did.
Like, the most common is Godric, then Renala, because, like, that's just the intended play path.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will be fine, even though I see cracks at 2 sides of it. Thank God it's one of those, so we don't die when we drop that far.
Yeah. I think him being in charge of Lionel is kind of interesting. I mean, granted, I don't know if he's in charge. It's a very dense area, and there seem to be a lot. Like, the thing is that, like, Stormvale is somehow seemingly entirely
shit.
controlled by... I just had a full silence so everyone could just appreciate what you did.
I thought the buttress I was jumping for was an actual buttress.
Yeah. But Godric somehow, some way, is in charge of the entirety of Stormvale, and you can see, like, it's a stereotypical fantasy castle. There's a mess hall, there's a library, like, and almost everyone seems to be serving him specifically.
Yes.
Lionel is definitely not that. Just based on what I'm looking at, there's an Erdtree avatar. I know who like walks down the highway shaking her childbearing hips, and like I love that for her. She doesn't feel like she gives a shit what Morgoth thinks. I love that for her.
The
And same
Erdtree
with all, like,
avatars are in the
the
interesting.
soldiers and the oracles or whatever the little turban
The
guys.
Oracle envoys.
Yeah.
The Erdtree avatars are in a very interesting state in that they answer to no one. But they also don't control anything. They are simply the Erdtree's self-defense mechanism. The soldiers do, like the soldiers in Leyndell, do
Whoa.
answer.
Cass,
Yes.
your mic completely shattered.
Oh shit.
You sound like the phone guy from FNAF 1.
Oh. I think I might be having some interference with the from the capture card in places.
I would. Yeah.
Because I had that problem with my speakers.
Please stop
yesterday.
talking.
Okay.
Sorry. Is this it like hurts? You want to try again?
Hello.
Just as bad. Like I can hear you. It's just like drowning in static.
How about now?
Just as bad.
Sorry about that. I hit a plot important cutscene in Death Stranding.
Is it happening over Twitch?
No. You robot
hold
it
on.
really hard.
Give me a second. I'm gonna mute and then say something.
Testing.
My goodness.
The roboting is not as bad on Twitch, but it's definitely noticeable.
I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know. It's like
Oh shit.
walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
So like if you've ever used a walkie-talkie, it's like it's understandable. It's just a lot. But I suppose we're wrong. Yeah, Morgoth being in charge of this area is interesting. Him being in charge of the holy area does paint him in a certain light. And I'm not really sure what to do with it. Because like the Erdtree is holy, right? Like that's the vibe of it. Like it's golden. And it is more or less the sun in this setting. Like obviously there's an actual sun, but you know what I mean. Like it's the brightest light in the sky, and everyone looks to it, and like, you know, and the things associated with it tend to use holy, such as the Erdtree avatar. So Morgoth being in charge of that, while looking the way he does, is interesting. He doesn't look like an abomination. You know, he's not Rykard. very convenient fall damage negation there. He's not Rykard. He's not Radon. Both of them look like shit. But he still looks like cursed. He also has obvious leg problems. And like, I keep joking about it, but I am like, I think I need to make a note. Like, it is a thing that is happening. That he seems to canonically have arthritis in his knee. If you look at his animations, where he'll stumble or his knee will buckle under him. Like he's an old man. And I think that is so weird to me. Or not weird, but it's like, it's so interesting where no one else seems to be facing this issue. Like death is death is a thing here. You can die, or you can not die. You can come back as a zombie. And there's diseases in the sense of there's scarlet rot, and there's all sorts of other things. He just has age, and for some reason that is fascinating to me.
Is it still happening?
It is.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Testing. Also, it looks like Discord stopped going over Twitch again.
Okay.
There we go.
Like Ronaldo seems to be eternally youthful. And like, let me look at Godric's design so I don't sound crazy when I say this. Because like, Godric has a lot going on. So I think we can all understand that. Never mind, he does look noticeably old. Like, I was checking just because I'm like, is he actually old, or is it just that he has like 50 arms, none of which actually help him in combat? And he has like straw-like hair. Godric looks like an old woman, specifically. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know why that is to me.
Fits with the lore.
Like, he looks like an old woman that spends all of her time in a diner just smoking. Not eating in the diner, just smoking.
Like, it fits with what Kenneth Haight says about him, where he hid with the women fleeing Landell. And that's how he got here.
Well, that's a lore drop for me.
Yeah. You ask this guy, who is Elden Ring's Ferdinand, and he'll say... Give me a second. Honestly, Godric's no more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord, don't make me laugh. First he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radon in that castle. Then he insulted Millennia, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots rather than die like a man. Has he no shame, the big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage, though you almost wouldn't know it to look at him. I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it.
Why is he the first boss? That's my thing that I keep, like, I know it's because he's meant to be easy, but in terms of, like, building up tension narratively, why are we fighting the piss baby first? That doesn't exactly set an example for everyone else. But that's getting into an old complaint, I suppose. Anyway, Morgott dealing with age. Interesting, because everyone else who has a shard seems to, like, not have to worry about that too much. Granted, I don't know the timeline of the Shattering War. Like, when I hear the Shattering War, or, like, because it feels like, oh, it had happened, and presumably it took a while. And so I thought like the vibe is that like the Sharding War happened and whoever got a shard just like stopped aging because like they got like a little bit of divinity. And this is most obvious with Renala. And honestly, Radon. Like, I know Radon has super cancer and like sad face, but like if you scrub away the mold, I think you'd see like a healthy 20 something.
Mm-hmm. So what's going on there?
You know?
Oh, hey, Boulder.
But like Morgott specifically seems to be struggling with age. And that's so crazy to me. Why is he exempt? Why did the gods say like, no, you get arthritis and literally only you? That's it. I mean, granted, I guess he could have already been old. And then he just was frozen at like 68. But I don't know.
Pretty much.
It's a very big part of his character design. His weapon's a walking cane.
The best way I
His
can put it
animations
is
clearly show, like, because in terms of animations, the opening the attack with the big opening is the one you pay attention to, and all of his openings are because like his muscles fail him. If you look at him. But anyway, go ahead.
Who's there?
Give me a moment.
It matters not. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. It is a curse. Not to be meddled with by man. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot.
All right. So the thing about Morgott is, outside of Renala and Godric, all of the people who claimed a shard of the Great Rune were in some capacity a particular kind of demigod. That particular kind of demigod is referred to as an Empyrean. Essentially, it is someone who has the capacity to make their own order upon the world. Morgott is just a normal, for lack of a better term, a normal demigod.
Hmm.
He is stuck with aging because, like, he isn't even supposed to have been able to get a shard of the Elden Ring, but he did. And now he's just kind of suffering. With Renala, it appears to be a facet of the particular shard she got given by Radagon, the Great Rune of the Unborn. She is probably maintaining her youth through its power, or just the power of being a sorcerer. Sorcerers in this setting tend to stop aging for one reason or another.
Hmm.
Okay. We're gonna go grab the bloodstain, and then we're gonna go try to kill O'Neill to get the gold needle for Millicent here.
Like, to be clear, I haven't been saying that Morgott's like a chill, normal guy. He did forget his face at home, and it is all barnacles. So, you know, he's clearly got something going on. But yeah, the fact that he like is dealing with very specifically like rheumatoid arthritis.
Yep.
Crazy.
The reason his face is barnacles.
Also, side note to state the obvious, I know that based on the fact that the writers of this game understand naming, That's the only thing they know how to go off of. He is related to Moog.
Yes, they're twins.
Presumably, presumably brothers. I didn't know twins, but yeah. Because
Moog
M.O.
and Morgott are of a particular race known as the Omen. They are people who are born in some capacity outside the Erd Tree's order, represented by the budding horns across their faces and bodies. They are the simplest way to put this is they got thrown in the sewers as children.
Well, yeah, because they're like the
being,
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. They pick Morgott up and like, why are you so fucking ugly? And then threw him in the basement. And then he proceeded to still be ugly when he left the basement, which like is really the worst part of this whole ordeal. Yeah, it's like I've been on my journey with Miss Morgott. Okay, we've been around the block together, much like Jenny. You know, we fought twice at this point, and I have to fight him again, and it'll probably be slightly faster this time. You know, and I think I'm gonna be a little sad actually when I have to kill him. Not because I like him, because he's the only character that I know. Right? Like he's my bestie. He's the only guy whose name I can remember half the time. And I don't know what his story is. And I don't really care. But what's important is that, like, he's shown up more than once. He's shown up twice, in fact. And that's more than anyone else can say. Because all I really know about anyone else is that, like, for Rykard, Tanith doesn't like him. I don't know if they were bitter exes or what, but whatever. Radon, people do like him. For reasons I don't know. And, I mean, less so on Godric. Mixing me up because you mentioned the other guy's name. Godric?
Yes, Godric.
The less so on him, the better. He has nothing to say. I just know that Roderica, he was like, oh my god, I should have like given him my fingers. I should give him my whole hand. And I'm like, I'm not stopping you. You can go find his corpse and just give it to him if you feel that bad about it.
I mean, her initial thing is that she wishes she had been brave enough to go to the grafting with the rest of her friends.
Yeah.
And she's ultimately feeling basically survivor's guilt.
Yeah, she was giving me that whole speech, and I'm like, you're a grown woman. Go graft yourself right now for all I care. I didn't force you to come here.
I'm gonna go to bed, I think.
I just told you the directions to the round table hold. You didn't even have to take me up on that. Also, I don't know how you got to the round table hold, but that's a different question. Like, that's something I'm just ignoring because I don't know where the round table hold is.
The round table hold is...
get there.
It's not entirely clear, but it is a factor of being a Tarnished that allows you to enter there, and more specifically being a Tarnished with, at least according to White Mask Vare, a Finger Maiden to invite you there. There's some lore on one of the hoods that implies something about nobles, like Roderica. I gotta see if I have that hood. I don't have that hood. I need to find that hood. Crimson Hood. Such cloaks were gifted to those who departed on journeys without specific orders, to faraway lands from which they would never return. In other words, the gift of a cloak made it easier for undesirables to be on their way. Roderica never once saw the guidance of grace.
I keep forgetting the grace is like an actual plot thing.
Yep.
And not just a shortcut.
That reminds me, I need to do something in Stormvale. Here. But
How
yeah,
long are you gonna go for today, by the way?
not too much longer. The
Okay.
microphone troubles killed my energy, and
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what's happening. It just started happening Friday.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you fixed it. You just, like, remember how you did that?
Yeah, it's just resetting my microphone by turning the whole thing off. I was hoping it was just interference through the capture card. All right. Let's go back to the Table of Lost Grace.
Hello there. What can I do for you? Are you acquainted with a man named Roger? You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony. He was a formidable
I looked up
spellblade
Morgott
in
on
times
Vextra Life,
past.
and I forgot that there's a
Don't
comment
let his
section, and I
easy
scrolled
air
down, first thing
deceive
I
you.
see is,
He was
and
wise
I
beyond
quote,
his years,
"What a cute little
stout of
race
heart,
trader."
and clear of mind. No
Yeah, he kind of
And I'm
is.
so excited to
Let's see
figure out
him
what the
now.
fuck that means.
Ravaged by thorns, muttering and rambling, like he's half dead already.
Does his shackle work?
I can't stop
Yes, it
to
does work.
watch.
Margaret's Shackle
Take
does work in
well
his
the
boss
lesson,
fight.
friend.
I need to remember
Saw
that,
you
because I
end
didn't
up
even know about it in
seduced
the
by
Margit
those who
phase,
live in
and that would
death.
be fun.
When
Yeah, I cannot
grace is
remember where you
sullied,
get it in the first place.
rots people
I'll
from
look it
the
up, it's fine.
inside. Breaks them.
Just save it for second phase, because I do remember that unlike every other boss I fought so far, the second phase was actually harder with him.
Always good to see you safe. So, what do you need? Ah, you defeated Godric
There's my
and claimed yourself
girl.
a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something
Look
to
at
mark
him,
the
all
occasion.
man spreading it up.
Go on, take it. As you might have guessed, I still can't
Best
move.
weapon.
My
And by that I
fighting
mean
days are
not
behind
even
me.
close, but you
No
know,
need to be
sentimental
polite.
attachment.
I've no use for it anymore.
Love it. Fuck me up.
So you've met Dee. Dee is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration.
You know, I was
of
really
death.
surprised the Ansper
But our
Rapier
paths have
didn't need
since
somber
diverged,
smithing stones.
never
I thought
again
it
to
would be like a
cross.
unique one.
Though that's
Yeah,
hardly
really.
an uncommon fate for two friends.
Because I had to get it from an NPC and it has like a storied history or whatever, but like, I guess not.
Dee was telling me
Whatever.
that he discovered the mark of the
I'm not
centipede.
complaining. Normal
The
smithing
centipede
stones are.
is an ancient
I had
symbol
so
of the
many of
cursed one.
them, but it's like.
As long as whoever finds and
I don't know.
uses it is not
I mean, I guess I'll
nefarious
probably
by
need them for
nature,
the Hoslow
then
whip,
we may be able to form an
the somber
alliance.
ones.
If only I could speak to them in person, and if they were like you, all the
So it would
better.
work. If it works out, it works out.
Buy his Ashes of War because we couldn't in the first place.
The battle art you've learned is of the Glintstone family. They were conceived at the Great Academy of Rea Lucaria, to the north of this castle. In the past, they obeyed laws which contravened the Golden Order.
Just talking about
So
something
I'm told.
random to fill up time.
Fascinating, isn't it?
I did
The
a
Golden Order was
truly
proof of those to
crazy
absorb
tier
practices
list
that
a while
contradicted
back,
itself in the past.
which is
With the Order broken, twisted, and in need of repair.
I sorted
Such
every
adaptability
Pokemon
is
by
more
what
important
game I
now
used them
than
in,
ever.
or every Pokemon evolutionary line, because I think my next Pokemon thing is I'm gonna play some game. I'll figure out which one and try to only use Pokemon I haven't used before.
All
And
right.
I've used some niche ones, but I've never used like. Here's a random one. I've never used Tauros.
Well, I took
And I
the
love
mama to it all as
Tauros.
they had your own.
This is
Odd.
it's not never shown up. I guess like never been like a priority. Or Chinchou. You know Chinchou?
Yes, I know Chinchou.
I haven't used it. And it's water electric. Like it's a good Pokemon. I just haven't got around to it, I guess. Or Beheeyem, or Frostlass, or Sharpedo. I've never used a Wigglytuff.
Greetings. Are you here for spin?
Because the thing is, like, typically when Jigglypuff is available, so is Clefairy. And I love my girl Clefairy, and I always pick it, and then I've never, just happened to never have used Jigglypuff. That's a crime, and I'm aiming to fix that. Were you laughing at something?
I was just saying, huh? At the Jigglypuff.
Yeah. I'll probably Gen 4, just because that feels like it'll have the best chances. I've never used a Dragonite, just because they're typically so rare to the point that it's just not worth it.
Right.
Also, whenever I was little, I didn't like dragon types very much because like I was stupid and I was like, well, they're not super effective against anything except themselves, so like why would I do that? When like the benefit isn't that they're like offensive, it's just they resist fucking everything for no reason. They release all the they resist all the basic elements. You know, that's what you're there for. The defensive wall of it all. I was a fucking kid and I was stupid. So whatever. Bitch, I've never used the Spheal line.
You've never used Spheal?
The thing is that like it's available, like his main game is Hoenn, and there's so many other water types, and it arrives late. I've just never got it.
I mean,
Because by
you
that
use
time
it
I
because
have,
it's a
like-
good ice type.
Well, yeah, but I've also typically have an ice type in Glalie.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
Spheal.
Pokemon we've never used before in any game, and I realize I haven't used Spheal ever.
Trying to think of who all I've never used now.
I've never used the Xatu line.
I don't think I've used the Biofilm line.
I've used Vileplume. Actually, no, I haven't. Never mind. I've never used Blossom. I want to use a Blossom.
Blossom's cute.
Hitmontop, Muck. For some, like I was sorting through and I was like, I can't remember ever using Muck because I was a Coffin girl all the way. And they're always available together. Perugly. Do you know Perugly's like really fast for no reason? Not really fast, but like shockingly fast for a fatty. Like you would think that it would be like bulky because it's thick fat and everything. But no. Honchkrow, Drapion, Tangrowth. Gourgeist. Kingdra, Furret, Hypno, of course, Dodrio, Primeape, Donphan.
I find using the Crimson Hood here will be so... It's very appropriate for the blood area, you think?
Yeah.
Just careful not to get it stained.
I mean, I found it in a pile of bloody corpses, so,
Then you failed already. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Flop. You know, I've used every starter Pokemon at least once, with one exception.
who?
Empoleon.
Oh, Empoleon
Really?
was... I really liked
Yeah.
it.
Why?
I don't. When I was a kid, I think in my brain I was like, "But that's Dawn's Pokemon. I can't use that." Like I don't know what that. I think it's because when I was little, I was really into the anime, and I was really attached to Dawn, and so I was like, "I can use Piplup. That's her Pokemon. That'd be so weird." And so, I was fine if Barry used it. Like if I picked Chimchar and then Barry used it, but I could.
Weird.
I was always a Turtwig girl. I'm a big grass type starter fan, and I think that explains a lot about me. Derogatorily, that's not a good thing.
Really, all the Sinnoh Pokemon and starters were really good.
Yeah. Because like starters really are kind of on in an objective sense, which is not the way you should grade starter Pokemon. But if you're being objective, it should be in the sense of like how easy are they to replace? Because it's a one-time thing. And grass type Pokemon are objectively easy to replace. You can get so many. Water type Pokemon similarly. Not as bad though. Water types you have to wait to get a little bit, and you have to wait to get a good one for sure. Fire types you may or may not get another one that's as good as the starter, or even approaching as good. But I love me a grass type. I use Chikorita basically every time I play through Johto. And I know it's bad. It's horrible, actually. It's genuinely I'm playing the game on hard mode for no reason, but I do it anyway. Why? Because I love that little lady. Okay? Chicory and me, we've been through hell. Which was to say, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I use Snivy every time in Unova, and it isn't as bad for Snivy, but Snivy doesn't Snivy gets... Let me think about this. Snivy gets his usual slew of grass moves, as you might expect, and then 3 normal type attacking moves. And I think that's it in its learn set. Its learn set is very shallow. Yeah, I just looked it up. It learns all of its usual grass type moves. It learns Ring Out and Slam, which are normal type. And that is where it ends. Meanwhile, Samurott gets Sacred Sword and can learn X Scissor. So for fighting and bug, and F4 obviously is a fighting type, and so it gets that. And then they can also learn fucking Earthquake. Meanwhile, in Gen 5, I had to teach Snivy fucking Return to have good damage if it resisted grass, which a lot of Pokemon do. I taught it Aerial Ace and Dragon Tail, you know, and like, just whatever I can get my hands on. Because this bitch learned Leaf Blade at 32, and that is the last good move it's going to learn until level 62, where it learns Leaf Storm. Turtwig isn't bad in Gen 4, though. Turtwig is a pretty good decision, actually, just because it's a ground type once it evolves. And, like, Earthquake's always going to have its place.
Okay, I think we're going to end in just a moment.
Sounds good. I still
I've
haven't
got-
taken my other attempt on my test.
Good luck with that. I'll probably do some off-stream grinding here, because this is really good for it. And,
Is it? Like, do
yeah,
the enemies just drop a lot?
they drop about
Or are they
2,000
easy?
runes. They drop about 2,000 runes, so,
Yeah, that is pretty good.
yeah. If I can get a way to clear them out in, like, a broad swath, that would be helpful, but who knows. Right, next up on level ups is Mind. Alright. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. I don't know what the deal with my mic was. There we go. See y'all tomorrow for Persona 4.
Later.
Goodbye.